8-story condo building in Miami is the latest to be deemed unsafe. And unfortunately, hundreds of people living in that building have been forced to evacuate. This follows the collapse of the Champlain Towers in Surfside near Miami in the past year, or in June specifically. And that tragically left 98 people dead. So I give you this update on the situation in Miami with these condo buildings because this isn't the first to be deemed unsafe, and it appears that it won't be the last. There were several other condo buildings in the area that had to be evacuated because they were deemed unsafe. Now, an eviction notice was posted at the entrance of the building on Monday. Hundreds of residents from 137 units had only hours to leave, and that's according to a city official. And this comes after the building received an unsafe structure violation in May. And the city met with residents who were concerned about the condition of the building at the end of July. Among the violations, not obtaining a 40-year recertification. The city told the building to submit plans to fix the issues immediately, but never received the plans. In fact, they started doing construction on the building without a permit.
So Miami. And that's the problem. That's why Miami's finally trying to regulate. Because as I told you during that story about the original building collapse in Surfside, it is so Miami to do it without a permit and to go, I find your government regulations to be optional. Well, it turns out they're there for a reason and they really shouldn't be optional. And what I'm amazed by is, I don't know to what degree the residents knew about the problem in May and July when the building was told about it. But if you're a resident living in that building and you saw just across the way that another building collapsed because they weren't following the rules and the laws, and you have a similar issue, I would think that would be a time to be concerned and say maybe perhaps we should follow the rules because we saw a stark example of what happens when you don't.
Right, and I mean, there's definitely an issue with the way building codes and regulations work in some states versus the others. In California, some of the building codes are obviously a lot more stringent, for instance, a lot more strict. In Florida, there's a lot less regulation, and when you consider the era some of these condo buildings were built in and some of the money laundering that took place among those who were trafficking drugs, yeah, we should be a little concerned. And in this case, they needed to repair columns that are holding the entire condo building up. Now, this isn't the only example. Last month, the Crestview Towers condominium in North Miami Beach was also evacuated after building officials determined that it was unsafe. A fire was put out in the 156-unit building on Monday. Authorities said no injuries were immediately reported and the cause of the fire had not been determined. Great. So this is what's been going down in Miami with these condo buildings. It's absolutely devastating, but this is why you need regulations to make sure that buildings are built in a safe and stable way.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.